It is that time again. Welcome, welcome. Here we are, Breaking Boundaries podcast. This episode is going to be live. It's going to be definitely compelling, and it's going to be critical that you want to go ahead and share and do stay to the end because I will be helping you all tackle what the topic that you just see in front of you is absolutely what we're going to be unfolding together, my friends. Karen is masking, unveiling the illusion of care. Ooh, I'm so excited. Thank you all for jumping in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Breaking Boundaries. We are going to go ahead and dive in even deeper, breaking stereotypes and fostering what? Growth into the workplace and even in your businesses. I am Ruth Mack, your host. Today we confront a critical issue. How many of you all definitely understand where I'm going to go with this? And if not, hang in there with me because the Karen management style and impacts on workplace culture matters. And how do we navigate, if you will, through this? Are you unknowingly embodying traits that hinder growth and fostering toxicity? Toxicity. Now, saying less, we're going to go ahead and discuss this because Karen, how many of you all know that Karen is not Karen? Even if she uses the right words, are you exhibiting Karen like tendencies in your management style, or even perhaps in your leadership, or even as a team member? Are you fostering a culture of growth and inadvertently, or maybe inadvertently, promoting toxicity in your workplace? Well, I'm excited that we're going to go through, and I want you to all to know I ask that you take this with a grain of salt and let's explore questions to ask yourself and actionable steps, step by step, to foster a culture of growth and respect. This through number one, empathy lenses, and then drawing insights from both modern management principles and timeless biblical wisdom on bullying and what are the consequences, because there are consequences, yes, if we're going to go ahead and dim the light on mankind, on being more kind, being more generosity. Let's go ahead and dive in. So, what I love for you all to know when I say biblical perspectives, I want you all to understand that the biblical have principles on bullying and what type of consequences come behind it. So, let's shed some light on the importance of compassion and, most importantly, the integrity of leadership. How many of you all are wanting to be mindful and be very present? Am I projecting or walking around with this perception of this type of personality trait without even conducting it or identifying with it and making sure that I improve myself? Well, I want you to do this. Am, First question I want you to do is ask yourself this question. Am I truly listening? Yes. Practice active listening, such as paraphrasing and summarizing to ensure you are understanding. I remember I had a consult the other day, and she is a manager for a very well known company. And suddenly she had a life event that happened. She now is a widow. She lost her long life partner that she thought she was going to have for pretty much the rest of her life. How many of you all are married and you may not be prepared when, God forbid, your partner is no longer with you? Well, she was in an environment, she's in an environment, not only that she lost her spouse, but also did her manager. But everyone handles grief in a different manner. So fast forward as she's continuing having to get back to the day in the life and making sure that she still has to show up as her best version of herself. Her manager taps her and says, "Hey, I see that you've been shifting differently. Are are you still wanting to be part of the team? Because it doesn't seem like you want to be here anymore." But it's how she said it and what conveyed gave the manager and the consult as though she felt attacked, as though she's not being productive when she's not only just wearing her hat, she's wearing multiple hats within a role. So how do you be able to know whether or not if you're having this type of listening skills and if you are being kind with your skills. I would say question number two, do I prioritize empathy over authority? And I think oftentimes that may be the major critical factor on questioning yourself and asking yourself and taking actions on put yourself in your team member's shoes before you go even going off the lid and asking questions and not realizing would you maybe take offense to that question, considering their perspectives and feelings before you make certain type of decisions or certain type of responses. Question number three, am I approachable, excuse me. Am I approachable? Now, I don't know about you all. Some of you all may have families or uncles or relatives that are not approachable, even maybe friends. Like, oh no, I know a certain time when to maybe go into their office or when to go into their room or call them at a certain time. So you may want to know, am I, because sometimes some people may not be approachable certain times of the day. But that comes to knowing setting boundaries and being able to be very clear on when you are approachable. So that way they're not, people say, yes, my door is open. However, when that door is open, is it truly open? Foster an open door policy with boundaries. Be very clear. Encourage honest communications to create a safe environment feedback for major feedback. If you're saying you have an open door policy, let's align it in a very holistic way to where it's not illusioning, it's not giving that conveying that I'm not available right now. Or you text back into the team's messaging pool and saying, I put that I'm in a meeting or I'm at work, but you're still getting people to intrude. And then here comes that again, Karen tendency coming out and bullying and not being mindful. Let me share with you on ways to minimize the approach of conflicts with empathy and seek resolution through dialogue rather than confrontation. So, this is a scripture that really holds dear to me. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh and word that's a harsh word stirs up, guess what? Anger. Encourage leaders. I want you to be able to encourage yourself as leaders to respond with gentleness and understanding rather than with harshness or anger. Now, men, I know you all probably thinking, well, I'm not going to minor or dim on my masculinity. This is not what I'm asking here. But there's a certain tone that you want to convey when communicating. Is this helpful? Are you finding where you're now wanting to repositioning and identify, am I projecting more of this harsh way of communicating when I know to be true that's not who I am? Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. We're here to serve others. I'm here to serve others. I always tell my team, hey, listen, how can I support you? What areas are you looking to see that you may need some additional guidance or may feel overwhelmed in certain assignments? I'm happy to help. Or I can see what ways we can collaborate with other team members who may have less on their plate. Showing up in this manner is not only going to be important of humility, but also putting the needs of interests of others before who? Before your own. And so I want you to go ahead. Let's ask this next question. Question number 4. Do I empower my team? This is a good one. Oftentimes people say, well, I don't feel empowered. I don't even feel recognized, Ruth. Ask yourself, do you empower your team? Because you are a reflection of who you're looking to have reflect back to you. Delegate tasks, provide autonomy, for example, and acknowledge contributions to cultivate a sense of ownership and confidence. People want to feel purposeful. They want to feel present. They want to feel as though they are part of the number. They're part of the group. They're being recognized for their worth and their skill set, whether as just not being a number to the system. They want to know, how can I be identified as a leader as in a very diplomatic way without feeling like I'm just getting my plate piled up and emails are just being jammed up with a variety of work and I don't feel motivated. I feel that as though it's being a bullied and toxicity type of environment. Let me know if this is something that you are definitely want to be even more mindful, and it's super incredibly grossly at times if you find yourself maybe not asking yourself these questions and then say, oh my gosh, before you go lay in the bed today and say, did I show up as my bigger and better version of myself? Let's ask this next question. How do I handle conflicts? Do you approach conflicts with number one, empathy and seek resolution through dialogue rather than what? Confrontation. I do believe that in one of the biblical scriptures is whatever you do, work it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. I want you all to see that. Encourage yourself as leaders to approach your work with sincerity and diligence, recognizing the ultimate ultimately you're here to serve. Okay, I'm here to serve and I have a higher purpose. So am I going to be looking to thinking that I'm going to go ahead and be a yes person and not set boundaries and also do it in a very holistic way? Sometimes our communication is not as effective as we would like it to be. So what do? You fix it. You fix it. My dear brothers and sisters, take not take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I love that. This not only highlights the importance of active listening, but patience and most important, resilience in your communication, your value. You're increasing your valuable traits, number one. And it not only shows that you are a leader, but an effective leadership. So what I'm getting at is I want you all to see how you're wanting to presently become that top authority. You want to become part of the team. You want to show that who you are. You not only want to be able to say, well, am I really carrying this mask? Am I putting this Karen mask on and not recognizing that's not who I am? The bullying in the workplace has to stop. It grieves my soul. How are you all positioning yourself as a top authority without being compassionate to your peers, to your team, to your leaders, even to your clients? It really it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing because you are more than enough with what you have. You are lovable. You are caring. Do not give this illusion that you're not, because that's not who you are. Lastly, do I acknowledge and learn from mistakes? Some of you all cannot even take constructive feedback. Embrace humility. Even admit when you make mistakes and use them as what? Opportunities. Failure leads to success. Now, opportunities, you want to say, is this opportunity going to be for growth and improvement, or am I going to continue just going downstream? I definitely want you all to know that it matters that you constantly reflect, self-reflect. Give yourself the grace as we're wrapping up here to identify what are some of my downfalls or pitfalls. What ways can I show up as the better and bigger version of self? I know for sure sometimes I may feel like I have these tendencies of caring. I say, "Oh no, the devil's a liar." I want to reposition myself and give myself the optimum of knowing that I am kind, I am generous. Although I am kind and generous, I'm going to set expectations and boundaries not only for myself as a leader to be more effective with my communication, yes, but also to help serve and grow an environment of other talents who are looking to be recognized, who want to be purposeful. In order for them to be purposeful, they want to be, you got to circle around with an environment of other leaders who are doing the same replication of what you're looking to be. If you're not reflecting these same type of behavior patterns in a sense where you are a leadership who is effective with communication, showing humility as well as empathy and as well as an effective leader, EHL, empathy, humility, and leadership. EHL has to be something that you hold dear to you on an ongoing basis. How many of you all are going to ask yourself questions before you walk into the office today, before you turn on your laptop or your computer today? And if you know this to be true, that it starts from with you first. It's within you. You have to disrupt whatever's happening. Let's do this as we wrap up to I want you all to share your experiences and insights with us. How do you promote empathy and inclusive engagement in your leadership style? Connect with me on all of the platforms. I'm streaming pretty much on every major platform here. And I want you to leave a comment into the retreats. I like to call the comment area the retreat area. Yes. Together, let's continue breaking boundaries and fostering positive change in our workplace, in our businesses. Listen, even in your life, it matters as well. Is this helpful? Do you want to see yourself more compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as you want to reflect this Christ like energy? God forgave you. So, what makes you bigger and better? It's basically you want to be able to go ahead and create a positive culture, then you have to grow. It requires introspection and action. You got to take action. Let's commit to embodying these empathy tendencies and charisma and breaking boundaries, and most importantly, empowering our teams to thrive. In reality, cultivating a healthy workplace cultures starts with self-awareness. It really does. And commitment to what? Empathy. Driven to what? Become this top leader that you're looking to be with integrity. Go ahead and and go ahead and would you mind sharing? We want to be able to disrupt this. Let's diffuse this Karen mask into this environment, into our community. Let's remove the mask of Karen. We no longer want to be these bullying type of leaders. We want to take action, take steps. We want to dismantle the Karen management style. Who's with me? And create environments where talent thrives and they feel valued. Join me in this journey of growth and transformation, my friends. It really is an impeccable team oriented type of effort. It's with you and I and the rest of the community coming together because I want you to reflect on your management style and how it impacts others. You don't know what that person may be going through when they go back home. Share your insights and actions. Take using, breaking boundaries and elevating it to a whole different dimension. I hope that you all anticipate that this has definitely created a light bulb moment for you where now is the time that you're wanting to shift and create a harmony way of giving and presenting the best version of you at all times. Karen Mass. Let's go ahead and put hashtag remove Karen Mass. It's it. Just remove her. Remove him. Remove it. Just remove it. It's not even a her or him. It's the Karen energy of them basically removing yourself and reflecting someone that's not even you. Remove that Karen mask today. All right. I will close. Thank you all for joining. I hope that you I'm sure that you got a lot from this. You even want to maybe go back to hit the replay. Yes. And really ask those questions to yourself again and really align those biblical principles and wisdom that was unfolded with you all together here in Breaking Boundaries. Have an amazing day, everyone. And until next time, talk to you soon.